on this episode of Living Well Uintah Basin. We speak with members of UBOC on why this group is so special to the Uintah Basin. On Dish by Dish, Jason Webb makes a simple salmon dish that will make you look like a chef. Living Well Uintah Basin, presented by Ashley Regional Medical Center. Also made possible by Warriors Warehouse and Uintah Recreation District. Living Well, beyond the couch.
I was expecting some, Mickey Mouse type thing. I had no idea that it would be good. I wasn't expecting it to be. And she said I was completely blown away. I could not believe that you could have that in this little town.
It's such a thrill for me to play. So it's been a wonderful part of my life and for our family's life. And she said, I just want to thank you for organizing this.
Do you know how unique you are? And he said, there's magic here. There's magic here. We have a tremendous number of volunteers, people who just step forward and give their time. It's kind of amazing. The school district has been amazing. They have done everything they can to be accommodating to us, to help us have a venue in order to have our concert. Everybody on the board has been great, and they have volunteered their time to do a lot of things. TJ Batty, he's our accountant, watches over the money. That's a big job because it takes a lot of money to put on these concerts. He's the one who worries about that. Dan Sam, he's our attorney, helped us get our 501c3 status, along with Bob Foley, who just stepped up and donated his time to do a bunch of paperwork to make that happen for us. I could go on and on. I've had people send me, individuals, who have just sent $1,000 checks, unsolicited, saying, we want this to continue. This is wonderful. This is awesome for Vernal. Here's some money. I can't say how much we appreciate those kind of things because, as I said, it is very expensive to put on the concerts. It takes a lot of money. This is a homegrown organization. The people who participate in this live here in Vernal. And Dr. Huff, who was our director for the last concert, he said to us, do you know how amazing it is to have a chorus and an orchestra? He said there are only two others in the whole state, and one of them is the Tabernacle Choir. I can't think of anything better to support than something like this that's homegrown. We're always looking for sponsors, so I encourage anyone who is interested to give us a call. We'd like to have them on board. Is putting us out there for other people to say, wow, look what they're doing in Vernal, Utah. They can actually do something with the arts, and it's fantastic. I think probably the most amazing thing was walking out on stage for that Christmas concert in 2013 and looking out and seeing an almost full audience and singing. We just, I've wanted to have a choir in Vernal for a long time. I've wanted it for a long time. I've been singing since I was in 6th grade, and I love to sing. So many of the great moments in my life have been connected with singing. I think that was the most amazing moment, was just standing there and looking out and realizing that after all this time it finally came to fruition. And that happens every time we do a concert. Every time I go out there and stand and we start singing, I'm just overwhelmed with how amazing it is.
I've played the violin since I was 12 years old, and I met my wife in orchestra at Utah State University. My wife plays French horn, and we have missed, frankly, over the last few years, couple dozen years, missed music in our lives. And so this has been particularly meaningful for me to be able to play again in a high-quality organization and to interact with such wonderful musicians. Nobody could have anticipated that it would be this great. I didn't. I didn't know. Nobody knew if we could do something like this here in the Uintah Basin. But to see these beautiful things happening, and there have been times when I've had to wipe tears while I was playing. I was practicing my violin with a music video on the background of one of the pieces that we're playing just a week or two ago, and I started crying right there playing Come Come You Saints is all it was. We have a daughter who plays in the orchestra at Temple Square, and she plays French horn, the same instrument that her mother plays, and so she has played with us at a couple of the performances, and it's been so sweet to see my wife and daughter playing next to each other French horn, an instrument that they both love so much.
We have several methods to get ready for the concert. You know, of course we have our big rehearsals when we're all together, but the real work is done by individuals in small groups. First of all the music is on our website for the musicians, and and also the individual parts are on there, sung by volunteers. And so you can open your music and turn on the alto part to a song that we're singing and just sing along. And so you can practice every night if you want to. Now, if you're the kind of person who really needs other people around you, then there are individual groups who get together and rehearse. The men get together in one place, the women in another, and you can hammer out parts. They don't just do it here in Vernal, they do it in Roosevelt too, because we have quite a few members in our choir from Roosevelt. All that individual effort is what really makes the choir come together, and that's what's so amazing about it.
The timeline is we don't do a lot of rehearsals as a group. We for this last concert we had auditions in September. Invited members of the community who want to sing, who want to play, to come and audition. And I think our first rehearsal is probably in September or October. And then we'll have another rehearsal maybe in November, and then intensive rehearsals the week of the concert. So Thursday night rehearsal, 3 hours, Friday night rehearsal, 3 hours, and then a Saturday performance.
The March concert is it's kind of special and amazing. To have both Craig Jessup and Matt Wilberg out here, holy cow. We could never have imagined that happening in Vernal. And Dr. Jessup was here, and we had our first rehearsal with him. And what an amazing person. So kind and yet so talented, and able to put over what he wants us to do in a very gracious manner. That's the word I should use. He's very gracious. And the music, of course, is very special because it's music that you've heard the Tabernacle Choir sing for years. And now here you are singing their music.
So the March concert coming up is going to feature Craig Jessup as guest conductor. Craig Jessup is the same individual that I talked with about 3 and 4 years ago, thinking about organizing something out here. And in those conversations, he said, if you guys get something organized, once you get your feet under you, I'd be happy to come out and guest conduct. So this spring is in fulfillment of that promise that he made 3 or 4 years ago. He is the former director of the Mormon Tabernacle Choir. He was there for, I think, something like 10 years. And we'll also have a special guest appearance by Mac Wilberg, who is the current conductor of the Mormon Tabernacle Choir. So right here in Vernal, in the Uintah Basin, we'll have the former and the current directors of the Mormon Tabernacle Choir. We'll be doing an all Wilberg concert, meaning all of the 16 selections that we'll be doing are arrangements or original compositions by Mac Wilberg, and he'll also be conducting a few of the numbers. So he'll come out for the dress rehearsal and the performance on a Saturday night, get back in his car in order to be in Salt Lake early in the morning for music and the spoken word on Sunday morning.
We got amazing feedback after that last concert. Everybody was talking about it wherever I went for that first week. And the concert was on a Saturday night, and so the next day, of course, was Sunday, and I went to church, and the bishop was talking about it over the pulpit. And everywhere I went, people were stopping me and saying, "That was an amazing concert. Oh my word, that was so amazing. We just loved it. We just enjoyed every minute of it." And I remember in particular, a lady that I work with, she and her husband went to the concert, and when it was finished, he got up and said, "Let's go outside and get tickets for tonight because I want to come back and hear this again." Not only was it well received, but we just enjoyed doing it. It was so fun. It was just a fun concert, and I think maybe that's why people liked it so much, because they could tell we were having a good time.
We're constantly interested in if people want to audition, we welcome them to audition. We're coming close to pretty much the maximum that we can fit on the middle school stage at about 150. We'll have 150, 160 in the concert in the spring. For the Christmas concert, we also had a children's chorus of 50 members, 8 to 12 years old. And we had something like 50 or 60 dancers dancing around in the aisles and some bell ringers and the whole deal. As far as expanding the number of performances, our board has felt that at least for this first 2 years, we want to keep it pretty simple at 2 performances. Christmas performance in early December usually, and a spring performance usually in early March. But there's been a lot of people talking about, well, let's do a 4th of July, let's do something in the summer with Hollywood favorites. So all those are under consideration, and I imagine that we will. Some have been saying, well, let's have an orchestra-only performance, maybe a concerto competition without the chorus and a separate. So there's a lot of possibilities, and who knows what it will look like in 10 years. But we plan to be here for 10 years and beyond.
So for me personally, it's been the fruition of a great dream, something that I've wanted to do for a long time. Dr. Bankhead, of course, was our very first director. He directed our Christmas concert. And he told us a story about performing with the Marine Corps Band. He was the director of the Marine Corps Band at one time. And he went to get into his uniform for the concert, and his pants weren't in. It was just his dress coat, but not his dress pants. And he ended up borrowing a pair of pants from a choir member, and they were too large. So he had pinned them with safety pins, and as he was going throughout the concert, they began to slip. And so he ended up holding up his pants with one hand and leading with the other. And he told that story, and everybody laughed about it. And the next night, he stepped up to start practicing, and someone had put safety pins all over with a little card for him, as a joke. And I think that kind of tells the story of UBOC. We enjoy each other's company. We have a good time together. We laugh, we joke, we bond. And we do it all through this medium of singing and playing and music. And I think that's what makes us such a great organization. The March concert is it's kind of special and amazing. I think that people will really, really enjoy hearing it.
At our first concert, Christmas 2013, I was talking to the Liberty Best of the Uintah Basin Vernal Express, and up came a woman that I didn't recognize. Her name is Penny Batty. She sings in the chorus, and she said, I just want to thank you for organizing this. And so it's stories like that that keep us going, and where we find that where people find that it's touched their lives and it's meant something to them. That's what means something.
Almost everyone suffers a broken bone or fracture at one time during their life. Taking care of your fracture will ensure that it heals quickly and without any long-term effects. Follow your physician's instructions carefully. Take time off your usual activities and give the bone time to heal. Don't delay treatment. Some fractures are subtle and can only be seen on an X-ray or CT scan. For more information on fracture care, visit our website at www.ashleyregional.com.
Warriors Warehouse has the preventative and natural products you need to improve your overall health. Nutritional supplements for maximum performance? We've got that too. And if you're looking for the best variety of gluten-free food, the search is over. We also cater to the needs of our customers by providing individualized diet and supplement plans, skincare, and friendly professional service. We have the education and experience to answer your questions and give you first-class assistance, backed by our pharmacy-certified Dr. Lewis. Let us show you why we're your #1 source for health products.
Living Well Health and Wellness Tip brought to you by Warriors Warehouse.
So it's the beginning of the new year, and so everybody is looking to optimize their workout. What is the best foods and supplements to do pre and post workout?
So as far as foods go, before you work out, you want to have a rapid acting carbohydrate source. So something like a tablespoon of honey or a banana would be great things to use before you work out. In addition, after you work out, you want to also have some carbohydrate. That helps the muscle recover, replace the glycogen that's lost in the muscle. So a banana there you can use with your protein shake. And what you want to stick with ratio-wise is a 2-to-1 ratio, double carbohydrate to protein.
And here at Warriors Warehouse, we have proteins and fast-acting carbs that you can get that are fast if you don't have time to grab food. So come see us here at Warriors Warehouse, 1060 West Market Drive, Suite 1, right behind McDonald's and Smith's.
Living Well, Dish by Dish.
Hi, welcome back to Dish by Dish. I'm your host, Jason Webb. And today we're going to do something a little bit different. The recipes that we've done up until this point have been a little bit heavier. They're going into the holiday season. But now, as all of us are getting a little bit heavier, we're going to go a little bit lighter with everything. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do a citrus glazed salmon. Something really quick, really easy. However, it tastes like $1,000,000. This recipe was one that my wife and I had scoured the internet trying to find something to do a little bit different with salmon. We had done the teriyaki salmon, we had done the breaded salmon, we've done all that stuff, and we wanted something that was light, something different, and we came across a recipe by Alton Brown. And this one ended up being something very simple. We had everything at the house ready to go, so we decided that we'd go ahead and fix it. So this one's, like I said, it's really simple. There's not much to it. First of all, you're gonna need about a pound and a half of salmon. Fresh is always better than frozen. If you're gonna use the frozen stuff, you're gonna lose a lot of that vibrant color and that flavor that's involved in that. So go to your local butcher. You can get salmon most everywhere. So get a piece. My wife and I usually do a fairly large piece and have it for several different meals. But you'll get that piece of salmon, and then everything that I've got today, I've got it geared for that size salmon. Of course, you're gonna tone it down if you've got a smaller piece. We're actually gonna be working with a smaller piece today, so when you look at it, you won't go, hey, that's not a pound and a half of salmon. So what we've got today, everything is just gonna go, everything's gonna go into the chopper, and watch your fingers. The first thing we're gonna put in that is a 1/3 cup of brown sugar. And if you've got it leveled off and packed, that's all right. And then you've got kosher salt. This is about a teaspoon and a half of kosher salt. You can use table salt. However, I like kosher salt because it's a little bit more coarse. It's still got that same flavor. In fact, I think it's got a little bit more, in my opinion. Don't use it on much, but it's good stuff. And then a 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. And then about a tablespoon of lemon zest. Now, I've told you before about lemon zest and zesting, the 2 types of zesters. On this particular one, since I'm putting it into the grinder, I actually like to use the string zester a little bit more. And you're gonna use about a tablespoon. I like mine to be really citrusy, so I do a little bit more than that. About 3 draws will give you about what you need, but I'm gonna go ahead and do about 4 or 5. And this is another good one for your kids too, because it's got that sweet, citrusy flavor to it that they'll really enjoy. It's also good for parties. One of the things that we like to do is we like to buy a big piece of salmon, amp this up so that we get almost this whole container full with the brown sugar mixture, put that on the salmon, and then when you cook it, you can lay it out on a tray and just have your guests come along and just fork out what they want. It's actually fantastic. So we're gonna go ahead and grind this. Plug your ears. All right. Easy. And what you're gonna end up with is a nice mixture. Mostly your brown sugar is gonna be your main ingredient, but you can see how it's kind of just all fine now. It's no longer packed in. And that is gonna go on top of your salmon. And with that, you're gonna put it on your salmon and you're gonna let it sit for about 45 minutes or so. What you're doing there is the salt naturally pulls out the juices that are in the salmon, and it's gonna actually go into that brown sugar and give you a really nice glaze. But didn't want you to wait for 45 minutes, so I actually have one ready to go. And as you can tell, it's turned into a nice glaze on that. And this is gonna go into your oven. It's gonna be on broil, and you're literally only gonna have it in there for about 5 minutes is all. All you're wanting to do is just get it cooked through. Salmon doesn't take a whole heck of a lot. It's gonna stay pink, so just kind of watch it. The other thing is, because of the brown sugar and your broiler, you're gonna have it about 3 inches down from your broiler. And then what you're going to want to watch for is there's going to be a lot of smoke. So if you've got a smoke detector in your house, you might want to unplug it for this one. Or have one of your kids on a chair with a rag getting ready to blow it away so that it's not going to go off. Mine actually gets turned off for this particular recipe. So this is ready to go. So we're going to throw that in the oven, and we'll come back in a few minutes. All right, and there you have your beautiful citrus glazed salmon. That's gonna be it for all the time we have here on Dish by Dish. Enjoy cooking your salmon. Invite some friends over, try it on them. They'll think that you're a master chef. And until next time, remember to always tip your server, and that includes your pizza boy.
Be sure to like us on Facebook for updates on VTV Channel 6 programming. Don't forget, you can watch current and previous episodes of Living Well on demand at vtvchannel6.com. And while you're there, be sure to send us an idea for an upcoming episode. If you enjoy Living Well Uintah Basin, please take the opportunity to reach out and thank the local, community-minded businesses that make it possible. Ashley Regional Medical Center, Warriors Warehouse, and Uintah Recreation District. Until next time, live well and stay healthy, Uintah Basin.